You've got to be out of your mind, Natsuki. There's no way I'm talking to him, much less this soon.
You have to! This is the only way that I think I can motivate him to do this!
Yuri angrily sighs.
I don't want to get involved in this either. Unlike Adrian, I know I haven't hit rock bottom yet, and I'm not about to risk my neck.
Well, considering you got in his face yesterday, believe me, he's going to try to come after you one way or another.
I can handle whatever he throws at me.
You might think you can, but trust me, you won't be able to. Not even Monica would be able to help you. I'm pretty sure she's on his shit list too.
I'll just report him to the school if it comes to that.
Yeah, and it won't go anywhere, Yuri. Listen to me. Look, if this was a perfect world, then none of us should have to be doing any of this. The school would do its damn job and make Kai and his little assholes face punishment. But they're not. So we need to step up and do it. Think about everyone who's been affected by what he's done. It's not just us and Shiro. Everyone has been affected by him one way or another. This might be our best chance, maybe our only chance, to finally put a stop to him. But if you can't convince Adrian to help me, then Kai will just continue his rampage and make us all kiss his boot. Do you really want that, Yuri? I'm not a fan of this place, and I'm not looking for more reasons to like it even less. I know this is asking a lot, but please, help me out here. Help us out.
Yuri leans against the wall, mulling over Natsuki's plea. For a good while, the only thing Natsuki hears is the distant chattering of her classmates as they file into the building. Yuri stares up at the ceiling, fighting back tears. She then slowly shuts her eyes, letting out a sigh.
Where is he?
Natsuki smiles graciously as she gestures for Yuri to follow her. Natsuki ended up leaving Yuri alone with Adrian as she waited by the front entrance, as per her request. She nervously paces between the columns back and forth, her anxiety only spiking as the opening bell rings. There's still no sight of them. Natsuki ends up leaning against a column as the world around her spins out of control. After waiting for what felt like an eternity, she sees a shadow towering above her. She looks up to see that it's Yuri.
Yuri?
Natsuki asks with bated breath. Yuri stares back at Natsuki for a brief moment.
Good luck, you two.
Yuri steps out of the way to reveal Adrian behind her. Natsuki shoots out of her seat in excitement.
Oh, thank you, Yuri. I'll bake you something special.
Whatever, just... I hope you know what you're doing.
Yuri nods to Natsuki as she leaves her and Adrian alone. Adrian lets out a long sigh. All right. What are we looking for?
Thanks for coming around.
Whatever. I just want to get this done and over with. After that, I'm done.
How did Yuri get you?
Doesn't matter. I'm helping you, aren't I? Just give me the rundown and let's do this fucking thing.
Natsuki nods as she walks with Adrian to their class and begins to explain everything. Adrian and Natsuki worked out a plan to hit the library printer. They both agreed that going to the library during one of the lunch periods was probably the best time to make their move. Conveniently, they both had the same lunch period, which made things easier on them. The major X factor was who would be in the library during that time. If there was a class scheduled in the library, or if there was a lot of people there, then the chances of them getting caught would be fairly high, as people would be going over to the printer constantly. So the less people, the better. Adrian and Natsuki push the doors to the library open and take a look around.
Not bad. Well, more than I would have liked, but I think we'll be fine.
Alright, so explain to me how this works again. It's been a minute.
So there's two ways to pull the printer's history. Either admin access or by tripping a software glitch that I can override and view it that way. Since getting the librarian's card isn't going to happen and would be more risk than it's worth, tripping the glitch is our best bet. Though to do it, I gotta remove one of the panels and mess around with a few things.
Okay, so what do you need from me?
Other than your student ID, I'll need you to print a few things since sometimes it takes more than one try. And of course I'll need you to watch my back.
Okay, sounds good.
Natsuki hands Adrian her student ID card. They exchange a nod as they walk over and grab the nearest computer to the printer. Natsuki signs in and pulls up a blank sheet to print off. Adrian then walks off towards the printer, pretending to browse for books to read. As it turns out, the printer is by the romance section. Adrian lets out a sigh as he takes a look around for other students. Once the coast is clear, he gives Natsuki a thumbs up to print. Natsuki prints off the blank sheet of paper. Adrian, taking a look around to ensure that nobody else is looking, swipes Natsuki's ID card, pulling up the print options. He then kneels down and removes a panel from the printer. Natsuki then gets up and conveniently positions herself in the librarian's line of sight, blocking her view of the printer as she grabs a random book off the shelf and pretends to read it. Meanwhile, Adrian begins to fiddle around with a few knobs and buttons in the interior of the printer, hitting them in a very specific sequence. He then rises to his feet and signs Natsuki out of the printer. Oh, okay, with the ID card. Adrian then hits the administrator's sign-in option. He then swipes his own student ID card and waits for the system to process. After waiting for a few moments, a pop-up informs Adrian that the sign-in has been rejected.
Damn it, we'll have to try it again.
Alright.
Natsuki casually walks back to the computer and prints off the blank sheet of paper again, giving Adrian a thumbs up. Adrian then hits the same sequence of knobs and buttons inside the printer and stands back up, signing himself out and trying to sign in as an administrator on Natsuki's card. He waits for the system to respond as Natsuki walks back over, shielding him from the librarian's view.
Nothing or anything yet?
Hold on.
The system loads for another half minute before a pop-up message appears on screen declaring the sign-in has failed. Adrian and Natsuki are gone.
Alright, I might have to do something different here.
Adrian says as he signs Natsuki out and takes another look at the inner workings of the printer.
How do you know all this stuff anyway?
Dad does IT for a living, does this kind of shit all the time.
That's convenient.
Natsuki says as she resumes her spot, pretending to read the book she had picked up. She catches the librarian's gaze as she pretends to read, however, she merely only looks at Natsuki for a second before going back to her computer screen.
The librarian saw me.
Just stay calm, she has no reason to suspect you.
Right, that's just the last.
Hey, Natsuki.
Natsuki turns around to see who had called her. Adrian snaps his neck around as well.
Oh, hey, Kotonoha. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Kotonoha sees Adrian rise from the floor as he blocks the view of the inside of the printer.
Are you good, Adrian?
Oh, yeah, I just dropped something. What's going on?
Oh, I just saw you guys were here. Wanted to say hi. Also, really sorry to hear that things between you and Yuri didn't work out, Adrian.
Man, news does travel fast around here. Yeah, thanks. I'm holding up okay, I guess.
I'm glad to hear it. If there's anything I can do, just let me know.
Appreciate it.
Kotonoha smiles warmly as she turns her attention back to Natsuki.
So, what you reading there?
Huh? Oh,
Natsuki says as she shows the cover to her.
Oh my gosh, you're reading Starstruck Angels? I had no idea you were into romance novels too, Natsuki.
yeah, I figured after reading manga for all these years, I needed to expand my horizons a little.
Well, I'm so glad that Yuri finally wore you down. I actually have the second book with me right now that I can show you.
Oh, it's very nice of you, Kotonoha. I'd love to sit down and talk about it, but I'm trying to print something right now.
Natsuki says, pointing to the printer.
Oh, is the printer not working again?
Yeah, the thing's a piece of junk.
Yeah, can't be stubborn. I'll just get the librarian to come over for you guys.
No!
Natsuki says frantically and perhaps a little louder than she intended, which visibly shocks Kotonoha. Thankfully, it seems like the librarian didn't hear.
It's nothing. It's just not letting me sign in. That's why Adrian's helping me.
Oh, okay. Well, whenever you're ready, I've set my stuff down over there.
Kotonoha points to a table that has a straight line of sight at the printer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll see you over there in a flash.
Ditto.
Kotonoha walks away, humming to herself. Adrian and Natsuki practically throw themselves at the printer as soon as Kotonoha has her back turned. Oh my god.
Fuck, why'd it have to be Kaneko?
Is that her last name?
That goody two-shoes will screw us if she sees what we're doing.
Adrian curses more under his breath. He hits the order of knobs and buttons in the same sequence.
Okay, try printing it. This is our last shot. I gotta put the panel back.
Alright.
Natsuki hurries back to her computer to print off the blank sheet again. She gives Adrian a thumbs up and he swipes Natsuki's ID card right on cue. Natsuki then hurries back over to the printer as she and Adrian wait with bated breath for the system to load. Loading. Loading. Loading.
Come on, you piece of shit, work!
Sign in successful.
Yes!
Natsuki cheers quietly to herself as Adrian breathes a sigh of relief.
Okay,
Adrian navigates the console to the print history and begins scrolling up.
so Valerie printed these photos around 11:30, you said?
Yeah, should be around then.
After some time scrolling, he finally sees the print request in question.
Alright, moment of truth.
Adrian clicks on Valerie's print request. They immediately gasp as soon as they lay their eyes on it.
Fucking Christ.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Natsuki says as she looks away. And though as soon as she does, she sees another student approaching them from the other side of the library. And not just any student.
Fuck! Jeremy's here!
You gotta be shitting me.
Adrian says, not looking behind them. Behind me? Me? To avoid suspicion.
Quick, just take a picture of it!
Adrian quickly whips out his phone and takes a picture of Valerie's print request. Adrian then quickly slides Natsuki out of the system just as Jeremy walks up to them.
Good afternoon, guys.
Afternoon, Mr. President.
Adrian simply stares at Jeremy. Jeremy nods to Natsuki and Adrian respectively as he squeezes by them to use the printer. Adrian and Natsuki then walk into the romance section out of earshot with Jeremy. Earshot is one word.
Damn, that was close.
Too close. I knew you were the right guy to bring along for this.
Well, that was your only choice.
Adrian says with a smug grin on his face, the first genuine grin she had seen from him since his fallout with Yuri. Adrian takes his phone back out and shows Natsuki the pictures he took.
Well, the way I see it, it looks like Valerie printed out those pictures. Of course, she'll try to lie about it and say Kai took her ID or whatever, and maybe that's what happened. Still, this is pretty significant.
Yeah, wow.
The two stare at the floor in silence, processing the revelation.
Well, just send me that when you can. Thanks for your help, Adrian.
Yeah, no problem.
He says as he sends Natsuki the pictures he took. Natsuki's phone rings to confirm she got the text.
Well, any chance you might change your mind?
In regards to what?
To stopping Kai. I mean, you saw it for yourself just now.
Adrian looks back down at the floor, lost in thought. After a few seconds, he lets out a sigh.
I'll think about it. If I decide to help out, I'll find you. Otherwise, just let me be for right now.
I understand. Thank you, Adrian.
Natsuki offers up a fist pump to him. A fist bump? He stares at it for a half minute before obliging her.
See ya.
Natsuki nods as she walks over to reunite with Kotonoha, while Adrian walks out of the library. The day has come to an end. The majority of the student body and faculty have left to go home for the day. Only the school clubs and a few faculty members remain in the building. During the day, Natsuki had touched base with Kayla and Ruby and showed them Valerie's print record. Kayla and Ruby then passed it along to Shiro, who caught up with Sam. Sam requested everyone interested in helping her with the case to meet her in the Literature Club room, a venue courteously provided by Monica after some begging on Sayori's part. Sayori decided not to get involved in the case, only promising Sam that she would continue to look after her safety. She did agree to update Michael, and as such left early. Natsuki was able to win over Monica's somewhat begrudging support after showing her Valerie's print record. Natsuki also invited Adrian to attend to the meeting, but only received a "I'll think about it" text. And I'll think about it. Yuri declined to get involved as well and left early before everyone started to arrive. In the meantime, Monica, Natsuki, and Sam simply wait for Shiro, Kayla, and Ruby to arrive. I understand why they didn't want to actually show all that happening. After waiting for some time, Monica hears a knock on the door and she walks up to open it. Sure enough, it was Shiro, Kayla, and Ruby.
Hey again, Monica.
Kayla, it's nice to see you again.
Monica offers her hand out to Kayla, who accepts the handshake.
And you must be Ruby.
Yup, the best around.
Huh, Natsuki was telling me all about you guys.
Hope she was saying good things about us.
She gives Natsuki a playful wink as they take their seats.
Just the highlights, Rubes. I would, but I take it we all don't want to be here till after dark.
Fair point.
The six of them sit in the arranged semicircle as the silence begins to settle in.
So, are we expecting anyone else?
Maybe one more, but it's kind of 50-50 if he'll show up. I'd just get started.
Right, okay.
Sam slowly stands up from her desk. Her legs feel like jelly, but she powers through.
Well, I can't say I had a speech prepared or anything. Really, I don't like public speaking. I'll admit I may be doing all this on a whim, but it's the right thing to do for everyone. Apostrophe, it is the right thing. So I want to thank everyone for their help so far. While what we're doing is unusual, I don't think any of us ever expected to be here, prepared to do what we're about to do.
So, I take it you have a plan in mind.
I do. It's still a bit of a work in progress, but...
The group hears a knock at the door.
Oh, looks like you showed after all, is 2 words, and what the hell happened here? I'll get it.
Natsuki gets out of her seat and happily trots over to the door. Shiro leans into Kayla.
Did she say who the 7th person was?
I know absolutely nothing about any of this, dude.
Touché.
Natsuki opens the door and a familiar figure enters.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we all know Adrian Hart.
Adrian steps into the room, taking a look at the group gathered. He and Shiro instantly lock eyes with each other. Adrian immediately strides towards Shiro, who gets out of his seat. Monica steps in between the two.
No.
Adrian stops in his tracks.
We're not here to fight amongst ourselves, especially in my club.
Why is he here?
Adrian says as he glares at Shiro.
Because if there's anyone who knows Kai just as well as you, it's him. Shiro has been instrumental in helping connect all of us. So whatever issues you guys or anyone else here has, save it for after we go through with whatever we decide.
Adrian and Shiro stare coldly at each other.
Adrian, I don't want to fight you, man. Look, the thing with Yuri and all that, I'm sorry if I crossed the line.
Crossed the line? You threw yourself over it. How am I supposed to work with this guy, huh?
He says, looking around the room at everyone.
This guy alienated Yuri's affection from me, warped her mind into thinking he was a saint, all the while a known creep and wannabe womanizer is hanging around my girl. Only to wannabe and wannabe. How do you expect me to just look the other way on that, huh?
The room is dead silent for a half a minute before Shiro lets out a sigh.
Adrian, for once in your damn life, listen. I never did anything that disrespected your relationship. Yuri was 100% faithful to you, and I never tried to make a move on her once. That's what everyone here is trying to tell you, yet you refuse to listen. Look, if you want to settle our differences like men after this, that's cool with me, because I take issue with how you handled that whole situation. You are a dick. But let's take down Connolly first, because I think we can both agree he's partly responsible for you guys splitting up. If you don't want to work with us because of me, fine. There's the door. Nobody's making you do this.
Shiro says as he collapses back in his seat. Adrian nervously runs his hands through his hair as he paces the room and back and forth for a full minute. He then lets out a sigh.
You know, Yuri gave me the same kind of pep talk earlier. That's actually what kind of inspired me to come here and offer my support. It's the reason I agreed to help Natsuki check the printer earlier.
Adrian says as he looks to Natsuki.
That's what we talked about.